Hi, my name is Ensin Inoy. I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, and I train out of my gyms at Pure Red. There's gyms in Japan, Guam, Saipan. Okay, I started training the martial arts basically in the beginning for defending myself in the streets in Hawaii. I'm from Hawaii, so we used to have a lot of street fights in Hawaii. So in order to be able to defend myself if there's something that happens or to protect myself or my loved ones, I decided to train martial arts. The reason why I got into the ring as a professional was because I believe as a man you need to be able to be level-headed in all situations, especially in situations of emergency that it might mean life and death. I remember when I was little, I saw a movie where the guy was driving his car with a family. It went over the cliff, turned over, went upside down, and it caught on fire. And the guy got out of the car, and because he was in so much panic and couldn't think level-headedly, he was panicking, tried to open the door and couldn't get the door open. His family eventually ended up dying in the fire. And it always scared me to think that someday if I get into that situation, a life and death situation, if I would be able to control myself. I used to be a racquetball player, and I remember being very frustrated because when I was in the court practicing by myself, when there's no excitement, there's no spectators, there's no spotlight, I could hit shots very consistently. But when I got into the match and I was the tournament, the matches on the line, a lot of people watching, the nerves and the adrenaline, it prevented me from being as level-headed and as calm as I can. I couldn't control my emotions, so my shots were not as consistent. And I always wanted to be that person in the court, in the practice court, be the same person in the competition. So I felt that there was an opportunity to not compare it to a life and death situation, but an opportunity to start controlling my emotions and be able to do things level-headed. Eventually in racquetball, it got pretty close to, I could be the practice ensign in the competition. Then when I started training jiu-jitsu for the streets, I remember going to watch one of my good friends, Hickson Gracie, fight, and it was in Japan. I remember being in the arena, and when Hickson won, the emotions, I couldn't control my emotions. So I was jumping up on the chair. I'm usually real quiet watching the fight and cheering inside. But when he won, I jumped up on the seat, started screaming, raising my hands, and it caught me. It caught me off guard, like, whoa. I'm just watching the competition and I can't control my emotions. So I had this thing after that. I had this thing on my bucket list that I wanted to get in the ring in a man-to-man combat, one-on-one in martial arts and experience it. I knew one time in the ring wouldn't be able to help me control it completely, but I just knew that going into the ring once rather than 0 times would better prepare me for the day that I am faced with a life and death situation. I needed to be level-headed. So I got into the ring and thought it was going to be one fight. One fight led to another, and by the 4th fight, I kind of had this different change of mind, like, wow, I wonder how good I am in this, and that's where the career took off. If you notice, so throughout my whole career, though, I was always chasing that that ability to get that experience in the ring. So throughout my career, you can notice that I wasn't after belts or championships. It was all about me putting myself through those extreme situations and testing myself in situations that would be hard to be calm and controlled. I think as martial artists, we're very lucky to be put in a sort of kind of like a life and death situation every time we get in the ring. So I took that opportunity as something to grow myself as a man, not for belts or championships or money. As you know, back in my day, there was no money. There was really not much fame, but more about being a martial artist and testing yourself and building yourself as a person. If you notice, the proof of that is when I picked opponents, it was never opponents that I thought I could beat. You know, today you hear people say, yeah, I can beat him in 1 round, I can beat him in 2 rounds. Every single fighter I picked to fight was a fighter that I thought would break me. I thought the fighters that I picked was fighters that I thought would push me to that zone, or that area of panic, of fear, that would give me practice to be level-headed and be calm. The day I retired was the day I found out that the ring won't be able to teach me much more. After I fought Igor Vovosyanchin, I had a perforated eardrum, swollen brain, broken jaw, broken finger, and the liver count 2,000 times the normal man because of all the toxins my muscles put out from being traumatized. And not once did I panic or, you know, get to this mode of I'm not being level-headed or controlling my emotions. So I felt that, you know, there's nothing more in the ring that I can gain to better prepare myself for the situation of a life and death situation where I needed to be calm. And so that's the reason why I started the martial arts. Why the martial arts is important to me now is for now it's exercise. And the reason why I do seminars and I try to still train students and promote martial arts is because it's important to me, because martial arts has made me who I am today. Without martial arts in my life, I'd probably be some regular Joe Blow in Hawaii, finished college, getting a 9-to-5 job, and just working day-to-day life. I love my life. I love what I do now. And martial arts is what created this all for me. So martial arts will always be important in my life, and martial arts will always be something that I want to give back to and be a part of. Last of all, I'd like to give a shout out to Stuart at Warrior Collective and Venum for doing what they do for martial arts, the best sport in the world.